Hey, CJ. Hey, y'all.
Name's wrong.
What's going on?
Not much.
Hi, Ashton.
Hi.
Hey, everybody. Okay. What's going on? Trooper, you awake, kid?
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel. Hey, Javian.
Hey, Ms. Guam.
How are y'all?
Good.
Did y'all all see my email this morning with the test review?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Abigail.
Hey.
Give everybody a couple minutes and then we're gonna get rolling through this review and make sure that we are good for this week. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Rebecca, Caden, Maddie. Hey, Corey. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
Are y'all back at the lake?
Yes, we are.
Nice. How far away is that?
A little over 2 hours.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Trooper just came up here.
Fun.
You get any merch last night, Jordan?
No, I couldn't find my wallet.
You lost your wallet?
Yes. Well, not lost it, but can't find it right now.
Got it. Okay. Let me just look real quick to see who is and is not here. I saw Daniel. Is he still? There he is. Okay. And I saw Ellie, Madison, Joey, Ashton, Caden. Emma is with me. I don't see Jed yet. Javian, Abigail. I don't see Liz. Maddie, CJ, Daniela. I don't see Daniela. Dylan, Brady, Becca, Trip, Corey, Ramsey. Ramsey's not here. Okay. Well, we are going to go ahead and get started as we do have a test tomorrow, and I want to make sure that we have enough time to answer any questions or anything like that. So I emailed you the test review this morning. I know some of you said you got it. Hopefully you all have it. If you haven't checked your email yet, you probably want to do that. What I did is I tried to go through and do the test review for you and kind of make some notes. And so I thought today what we would do is we would just talk through it. I'm going to share the screen, and then if you have questions as we go along, just holler, because as I minimize this screen, I'm not going to see all of y'all. So let me go ahead and share, and then we'll get going. Okay. So if you have the test review, if you want to pull it up, that's fine. If you just want to watch right here, and then you can go back to it later on today. If you have questions, that'd be fine. Or if you want to try it. So in section 11.5, y'all had learned about writing the equation of a circle. That was Friday and yesterday. So hopefully that, I think y'all did okay on most of that. Some of y'all, the biggest issue is the simplifying. Like when you have minus a negative, you don't write minus a negative. That turns to a positive. So just make sure y'all are careful about that. Same thing for a 0. You never leave a 0 in the equation. So just be careful about things like that. So this first question says to write the equation of the circle whose center is 1, 7 and goes through the point negative 1, 2. The 1, 7, that's your H and your K. So that part's going to be easy to fill into the equation. The problem is we don't know the radius. So you don't have to draw the picture here, but I'm just showing you as a visual. If you plot your center and you plot the point negative 1, 2, your circle would go around the center and go through that negative 1, 2, which means the length of the segment from the center to that point, that would be the radius. So you got to do the distance formula where you take the square root of negative 1 minus 1 squared plus 2 minus 7 squared. That gives you a radius of root 29. Now, when you put that into your equation, because the equation says r squared, root 29 squared would just be 29. So that equals 29. And that's all you're going to write is just that equation. Okay. Any questions on that one? Okay. All right, let's scroll. Oh, sorry about that. Let's scroll down. The next one basically just switches that concept. Now I'm giving you the equation and I want you to identify the center, the radius, and you're going to graph it. So for the center, when you pull the point out, remember, anytime you take the point out of the equation or into the equation, it changes signs. So since this says x plus 5, when you take that out, it becomes a negative 5. Notice that there is no number with the y. Oh, I don't know what just happened there. There's no number with the y, so that is a 0 right there. And so then to find the radius, we take the square root of 1, which is just 1. So the way that you graph it is you're going to plot the center first. So you plot this negative 5, 0. Then you take your radius of 1 and you go to the right 1, to the left 1, up 1, and down 1. And then you just draw your best circle. I'm not going to grade you on your artistic ability, but I am going to grade on based on how you plotted everything. Okay. Any questions on that one? All right. On the next one, it says find the perimeter of the quadrilateral. So this came from section 11.1. If you're keeping track, if you just want to take note, the things that were given in the purple, kind of bluish pen, that was the given stuff. So the stuff that's in red, that's the stuff that you have to find. So if you're finding the perimeter of the quadrilateral, what you were missing is you were missing this side at the bottom. We have to find that side. So what you're going to do is you're going to start on the 15 because that's the smallest side that you know. You want to pick any two numbers that add to 15. I picked 6 and 9. You can pick any numbers you want. I promise it'll work for any numbers that you pick. So when I picked 6 and 9, what we learned is that the little V shapes, the little ice cream cones, they have to be the same length, which means if this length here to the right is 9, the length to the top is 9. So then 21 minus 9 gives you 12, which means its V piece is also 12. 18 minus 12 is 6. And so then these V pieces on the bottom, they're both 6, which means 6 plus 6 gives you 12. So to find perimeter, you just add up all the side lengths, and that's going to add to 66 centimeters. Now, on this one, this is the one from section 11.1 that some of you missed on the homework. This was also the homework that a lot of you use your homework pass for, which is fine, but you still have to know how to do the work. So you're told that MN is a common tangent. Because of that, what that means is that there are right angles at M and N. You've got the radius of 25 and 16. So what you're going to do, you're going to connect your centers. Now, when you connect the center, that length is 41 because the radius to the left is 25. The radius to the right is 16. So 25 plus 16 is 41. Then you're going to take, and from the smaller center, so from the circle of 16, put your pencil at the center, and you're going to draw a line across to the 25. So when you do that, it forms this figure down here, where you've got a rectangle on the top and a right triangle on the bottom. So if X is on the top, X is on the bottom, 16 on the right, 16 on the left. If this whole radius was 25, then 25 minus 16 will leave you with 9. Using that right triangle, you're going to do Pythagorean theorem. You're going to take 9 squared plus x squared to equal 41 squared. And when you solve that, you should get x is equal to 40. All right, I'm going to pause on that one for a second. Do you have any questions?
How do you get 41 again? Can you go over that?
Yep. So on the circle that has the radius of 25, then that means that from the center, as you're connecting the centers, can you see my cursor moving?
Yes.
Okay. Let me change them real quick. Okay. So that means that this length is 25. And then over here, this radius was 16. So that length is 16. So then 16 plus 25 is what gives you the total of 41.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? Okay, let's keep going. All right, so then when we got into section, I think 11.3, we talked about inscribed angles. And what we learned is that an inscribed angle has its vertex on the circle, and it is equal to half of the arc that it intercepts. So on number 5 here, you have this inscribed angle of 59. It has to be half of the arc. So when you follow the sides of 59 to the circle, this is the arc that it intercepts down here. To go from the angle, you multiply by 2 to get the arc. So 59 times 2 is 118. This angle of x, that's a central angle. Central angles are equal to the arc they intercept, so x is 118. On number 6, kind of the same concept. You've got this 42 over here. That's an inscribed angle. If you follow the sides of the 42, it intercepts this arc at the bottom. So 42 times 2 gives you an arc that is 84. The x that we want to find, that is also an inscribed angle. If you follow its sides, it also intercepts the 84. So half of 84 means that x is also 42. Any questions about those two? Okay. All right. So on number 7 here, it says to solve for x and then round to 3 decimal places. So again, this was similar to one of the questions on the 11.1 homework that, again, many of you just used a homework pass. So you may need to go back and watch the video for 11.1 or look at the notes for 11.1 because that's where this example would be. But the idea is that what you're given in the purple, that was given to you. So the red is what you have to do on your own. When you have this radius of X right here, that means that this is also a radius of X, meaning the length of this whole segment from the center all the way to the outside, that would be X plus 8. When you have this tangent of 15, that's going to form a right angle to the X. So that's what allows us to do the Pythagorean theorem. So the Pythagorean theorem would tell us to take X squared plus 15 squared equals X plus 8 squared. X plus 8 squared, that means to do X plus 8 times X plus 8, and you have to FOIL that. I didn't show the foiling. You should know how to FOIL at this point in your life. If you need to stay later and ask me, we can go through it. But when you FOIL, you're going to get X squared plus 16X plus 64. So notice that both on the left and the right, you have an X squared. So what's nice is that they just cancel out. Then what you're going to do is you're going to subtract 64 from 225. That gives you 161. And then we divide by 16, and that gives us 10.063. And so that's our X value. Any questions there? Okay. So let's continue on. Okay. This wonderful big figure at the bottom here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so I can see all the questions. So again, what's in the purple is what would have been given to you, and the red is what you were answering and the notes that I made over here. So here's the thing. You may look at all these questions and think, I don't even know where to start. Don't worry about that. Let's look at the picture, and I'm going to talk you through what I'm explaining on the side here. And so when you go back and look at this later, as you read the red stuff, that should help you with what I'm about to say. So here's what I do. The first thing I notice is that right here in section 11.2, okay, this would have been section 11.2. Most of you did really well on this homework. Because of this right angle at U, what happens is because that's coming from the center, then that means that this length of MP has been bisected. So if this segment is 8, that means this segment MU is also 8. It also means that if this arc NP is 53 degrees, then arc MN is also 53 degrees. Now, because this segment is now 8 and 8, and then down here, you also have another 8 and an 8, what that means is that what you see at the top here should be the same as what's down here at the bottom. So what that means is that at V right here, there should be a right angle. It also means that if this arc is 53, then both of these arcs are 53 as well. And so 53 plus 53 is what gives us arc TR as being 106. It also means that when you find the length from M to P, that would have been 16. From T to R, that would be 16. So because those two are equal, then when W to V is 6, W to U is going to be 6 as well. Okay, so then if this is 6 and this is 8, to find WP, you're going to do Pythagorean theorem. You're going to do 6 squared plus 8 squared equals X squared, and that'll find that WP is 10. Angle WVR, that's 90, because a second ago I told you that that's a right angle, because if you have the right angle up here between the two 8s, you're going to have a right angle down here between the two 8s. Angle UWP, angle UWP, that's a central angle because it's at the center of the circle. Central angles are equal to the arc that they intercept. So when you follow the sides of that angle to the circle, it intercepts NP, which is 53, and that's why angle UWP is also 53. And that's everything that's going to be on your test. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second because y'all all have this email. If I need to come back to it, I can, but I'm going to stop that. What questions do you have? Okay. So there are no questions. So all of you feel pretty good about what's going on here. Nod or a thumbs up or. Thank you for the applause, CJ. Okay, so let's just discuss then, and I'll hang out for a minute if you want to talk about other, like if you'd rather not ask in front of everybody, I'll be here for a second. So tomorrow, we're gonna do the same thing as the last test. I'm gonna email it to you at 11:30. It'll be due back to me at 2:30. What I am doing with the test is when I get your test, I'm going to email you and say thank you, okay? If you don't get an email from me, that means I never got your test, which means you should reach out to me again and say, hey, Ms. Gorham, did you get this? Okay, so that it's not 7 o'clock at night and I still don't have your test and I'm about to give you a 0. So I will respond and say thank you. You need to make sure that you're looking for that response. Also, because of the way that this test is set up with all of the figures, here's how I'm going to send you your test. I'm going to send it to you as a PDF file, and I'm going to send it to you as a picture. I probably won't be able to send it to you as a Word document because there's too many parts that I have to fill in, and it'll get all jumbled. So when I send you your test at 11:30 tomorrow, my suggestion is to open both the picture and the PDF and make sure they look the same so that you can see the pictures. If you can print it just like you did last time and fill it out on the test, that would be great. If you can't, just write it all on a separate sheet of paper, but make sure you're copying the numbers properly. Trying to think. For the rest of the week, you've got section 12.1. There are notes and a video. And there's also in the notes, there's a website that you're going to go look at. And you have until Friday to complete that. Any questions about the test or the rest of the week or anything like that? And any life questions? Everybody doing okay?
How many more weeks of school do
Well, let me get my little calendar here. We've got, let's see. After this week, I think 4-ish. Don't quote me on that, but it should be around 4-ish, give or take. And we honestly don't have a whole lot left to do in this class. We've got chapter 12, and then we're going to do the tessellation pictures, the ones that I hang on my board that everybody draws. I'm going to teach y'all how to do that, and you're going to do that. And so we really don't have a whole lot left to do. We'll kind of see as we go here. Sorry, Jack's creeping in on me here. How are your other classes? How's the computer class? Oh, CJ.
It's terrible.
CJ, put a shirt on or take it off the screen.
Terrible. Computer class sucks.
Is it that because you don't feel like you know what you're doing, or?
No, it's because I took all of my assignments and I had a 0 in the class.
Well, I know there was one assignment that Emma did, but it was the wrong assignment.
I haven't done any of them. I got 100, so.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
Oh, that's
I have
awesome.
like a 98 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a 100 in the class, but I haven't done any of the Cengage.
She gave me a 93 on India.
Wow, this is comical. That's good to know. Is there anything else y'all need from me? I mean, geometry related or otherwise, like, is there anything I can check on for you? Is there, anybody need anything?
I don't know how to foil. I kind of forgot how to do that.
Okay, we can go through that for sure. Anything else? Okay, if you have nothing else, I'm gonna let you go and I will be in touch tomorrow with your test, so please make sure you're watching out for that. Otherwise, if you need anything else as well, just email me and let me know. I love y'all. I miss you. Okay, my friend. Foiling. Okay. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna write it on a piece of paper and then I'm gonna hold it up so that you can see.
All right.
So you know what FOIL stands for, right?
First, something. I don't know the O.
That's okay.
Inside.
Outside,
Oh, right.
outside, inside, and then last. So when you do, let me. Okay. Oh, what's the one? All right. Can you see that? Okay. So this, like if I were teaching Algebra 1, this is how I would teach it. You write FOIL. F stands for first, so you would do x times x, which is x squared. Outside is x times 8, which would be 8x. I is inside, which would be 8 times x, which is also 8x. And then last is 8 times 8, which is 64. And then it's that outside and inside term that they are like terms, so you would add them together, and that's how you would get 16x. So that's how on the test review, that's how I got x squared plus 16x plus 64. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You remember doing that now? Okay. What else, kids?
Joey, my glove broke.
Which one? The Easton?
No, the All-Star one.
The All-Star one. The
Rebecca,
old?
did you need me, sweetie?
No, the new one. The brand new one.
That
Brady and
sucks.
Joe, do you need me?
I was listening to the fourth.
Yeah, me too. I was just watching the foil.
Or yeah, do you remember doing that?
No.
Yeah, I remember it now. I just need to be refreshed.
Brady, you don't remember it for real?
I knew what it stand for, but I didn't really remember.
Did you see what I wrote? Like, do you need me to show it again?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. All
But
right.
I'm going to get a picture of that.
Do what, honey?
Because I'm not going to remember that.
Do you need
I'll
it?
send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Well, and this is recorded, so if you need me to send you the recording, I can do that.
All right.
Okay.
Are we gonna
I'm
need to know how to factor?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, because I forgot how to do that too. Like that entire like part of the algebra, I kind of just completely forgot because like I'm pretty sure I was like failing that.
Oh,
So it's kind
okay.
of like yeah. All right. Thank you though.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. All right.